Hi, friends. Welcome back. Today, we're diving into an incredible book called The Rules of Money, a guide that reveals timeless principles for creating, growing, and protecting wealth. This isn't just about money, it's about building the right mindset, the right habits, and the right strategies that can transform your financial journey. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to attract wealth effortlessly while others struggle, this book has the answers. So stay tuned till the end because you're going to discover powerful lessons that can change the way you look at money forever. And yes, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss more life-changing insights like these. Rule 1: Wealthy Mindset. Hey friends, let's begin with something truly powerful, the very first step to wealth, and that is your mindset. You see, wealth doesn't start with money. It doesn't even start with opportunities. It begins with how you think. The book tells us anyone can become wealthy. Yes, anyone. But here's the catch. You need the right mindset. Because if your mind doesn't believe in the possibility of wealth, then no amount of effort will truly take you there. Think about it. Every invention, every business, every successful person you know began with a thought, a vision, a belief that something greater is possible. Without that seed, nothing grows. Wealth is no different. The moment you start believing that you can create wealth, that you deserve it, and that you're capable of reaching it, you've already taken the most important step. Now, let's be honest. Many of us grow up with negative beliefs about money. Maybe we've heard people say, money doesn't grow on trees, or rich people are greedy, or even, I'll never be able to afford that. These little phrases sink deep into our subconscious, shaping how we view wealth. And when you carry these limiting beliefs, your actions naturally hold you back. You don't try, you don't take risks, you don't dream big. That's why changing your mindset is so critical. Instead of saying, I can't afford this, start asking, how can I afford this? Instead of thinking, wealth is only for the lucky ones, tell yourself, wealth can be created through effort, knowledge, and persistence. This small shift changes everything. But mindset alone is not enough. A wealthy mindset combines belief with action. You don't just dream, you plan. And you don't just plan, you execute. The book is very clear. Visualize your goals. Yes, but also create a roadmap. Write down where you want to be financially in the next 5 years. Do you want to be debt-free? Do you want a certain amount saved? Do you dream of owning a business or investing in real estate? Whatever your version of wealth is, define it. Because unless you define wealth for yourself, your mind will never know what it's working toward. And here's the beautiful thing. When you start thinking wealthy, you begin to act wealthy. Not in a show-off way, but in a disciplined, responsible way. You spend more carefully. You save more consistently. You seek opportunities instead of waiting for them to come. And slowly, these actions start compounding, creating the very wealth you once only imagined. Now, don't confuse this with blind optimism. A wealthy mindset isn't about wishing for money to fall into your lap. It's about combining confidence with responsibility. It's about telling yourself, I can do this, and then proving it through consistent effort. Let me give you an example. Imagine two people, both earning the same salary. One constantly says, this isn't enough. I'll never get ahead. The other says, this is my starting point, but I'll use this to grow. Who do you think will eventually build wealth? Of course, the second one. Not because they had more, but because they believed they could do more. And that belief guided their actions in the right direction. Friends, wealth is a journey. It's not something that happens overnight. But every journey starts with the first step. And in this case, that step is your mindset. If you think poor, you'll act poor. If you think wealthy, you'll act wealthy. And actions over time create results. So here's the takeaway. Start training your mind today. Believe in your ability to create wealth. Picture your goals, build a plan, and then walk toward it, one step at a time. Don't let old beliefs or negative voices hold you back. You are capable of more than you imagine. Wealthy mindset is not about arrogance, and it's not about luck. It's about clarity, confidence, and consistent effort. Change your thinking, and slowly but surely, you will change your reality. Rule 2: Define wealth and set goals. Friends, let me ask you a simple question. What does wealth mean to you? Take a moment and think about it. For some people, wealth means financial freedom, the ability to live life without worrying about bills or job security. For others, it's having a strong safety net, like an emergency fund, so no crisis can shake their peace of mind. And for some, wealth might mean the luxury lifestyle, traveling the world, living in a dream home, or buying the things they once only admired from a distance. The truth is, wealth has no single definition. It is deeply personal. And that's the first step. Before you chase wealth, you must decide what wealth means in your own life. If you skip this step, you may spend years working hard, only to realize you were chasing someone else's dream. So pause for a moment and be honest with yourself. Do you want to retire early and live simply? Do you want the comfort of knowing your family is financially secure no matter what? Or do you want to aim for abundance and create a lifestyle full of luxuries? None of these answers are wrong. The only wrong answer is not having one at all. Once you've defined your version of wealth, the next step is setting goals. And not just vague goals like I want to be rich one day. The book is very clear. You need SMART goals. That means your goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. For example, instead of saying I want to save money, a SMART goal would be, I will save $10,000 in the next 2 years by setting aside $400 every month. See the difference? One is a wish, the other is a plan. Wishes are easy to forget, but plans guide your daily actions. Another example, let's say your idea of wealth is being debt-free. Don't just say, I want to get out of debt someday. Instead, create a structured goal like, I will pay off my credit card in 12 months by making an extra payment of $200 every month. That's a goal you can track, measure, and celebrate when you achieve it. And here's the beautiful part. When you set clear goals, your mind automatically starts finding ways to reach them. Your spending habits change. You become more disciplined with your time. You look for opportunities that align with your vision. It's like driving with a map. Suddenly, the road makes sense. But remember, your goals must be realistic. If you're earning $3,000 a month, setting a goal of saving $100,000 in a year is unrealistic, and it will only discourage you. Start with goals that stretch you, but don't break you. Small victories build confidence, and confidence fuels bigger victories. Now, let's add one more piece: timing. Without a deadline, goals lose their power. Saying I'll save money eventually is the same as saying nothing. But if you say I'll save $5,000 by December 31st next year, your mind treats it as a real commitment. Deadlines push you to act today instead of postponing everything to tomorrow. So here's what I want you to take away. Defining wealth is personal. It's your vision, not society's. And setting goals is practical. It's your roadmap. Together they give you clarity and direction. Without them, wealth is just a vague dream floating in the distance. With them, wealth becomes a journey you can walk step by step. Think of it this way. A sailor without a destination just drifts with the wind. But a sailor who knows the port they want to reach and sets a course with clear checkpoints will eventually arrive. In the same way, defining wealth and setting SMART goals anchors your financial journey. So my friends, ask yourself today, what does wealth truly mean to me? Write it down. Then set one clear, realistic, and time-bound goal that will move you closer to that definition. It could be saving a certain amount, paying off debt, or starting an investment. Whatever it is, make it clear and commit to it. Because once you define wealth for yourself, and once you set your goals, you'll stop wandering. You'll stop comparing yourself to others. And you'll start walking with confidence toward the life you truly want. Rule 3, financial management, budget, and saving. Friends, if there's one golden rule of money that has stood the test of time, it is this: spend less than you earn. It sounds simple, almost too simple, but this one principle has the power to completely change your financial future. The truth is, no matter how much you earn, if your expenses keep chasing your income, or worse, outrunning it, you will always feel stuck. But the moment you learn to control your money, instead of letting money control you, everything begins to shift. And that starts with financial management. So what does financial management really mean? It's not about being stingy or living a life of restrictions. It's about creating balance. It's about knowing exactly where your money comes from, where it goes, and making sure it goes in directions that serve you, not drain you. The first step is creating a budget. Now, many people hear the word budget and immediately think of sacrifice. They imagine cutting out everything fun and living on the bare minimum. But that's not what a budget is. A budget is simply a plan, a way to give every dollar a purpose. When you have a budget, you're not restricting your freedom. You're actually giving yourself more control. Instead of wondering at the end of the month, where did all my money go? You'll already know because you told your money where to go. A good budget doesn't have to be complicated. Start by writing down your income, then list your expenses. Separate the needs from the wants. Needs are things like rent, food, transportation, and bills. Wants are the extras: dining out, subscriptions, shopping, and entertainment. Once you see it on paper, you'll quickly realize where small changes can create big savings. And that brings us to saving. Saving isn't about luck, it's about discipline. If you wait until the end of the month to see what's left, you'll almost always find nothing left. Instead, flip the system. Pay yourself first. Treat saving like a non-negotiable expense. Just as you would never skip your rent or electricity bill, never skip your savings. Even if it's a small amount, consistency is what matters most. But where should you save? The first priority is an emergency fund. Life is unpredictable. Cars break down, medical bills appear, jobs can change overnight. Without an emergency fund, even a small setback can push you into debt. Aim for at least 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses in a separate, easily accessible account. This isn't money to invest or spend. It's your safety net. Once you have that safety net, you can begin focusing on sustainable investing. This is where your money starts working for you. Instead of sitting idle, your money grows through compounding. But remember, investing should never be rushed. Avoid chasing get-rich-quick schemes. Instead, think long-term. Choose investments that align with your goals and your risk tolerance. Whether it's index funds, real estate, or retirement accounts, the goal is stability and steady growth. Now, I know this can feel overwhelming at times. Maybe you're thinking, I don't earn enough to save, or my expenses are already too high. But remember, financial management isn't about how much you earn, it's about how you manage what you have. Even the smallest habit, like saving $10 a week, creates momentum. And over time, momentum becomes transformation. Think of your money like a garden. If you plant seeds and take care of them, watering regularly, protecting them from weeds, they will grow. But if you ignore them, they wither away. Your budget is the map, your savings are the seeds, and your discipline is the water that makes it all flourish. So here's the key takeaway. Always live below your means. Not because you don't deserve nice things, but because you deserve peace of mind. Create a budget, stick to it, pay yourself first, and build an emergency fund. Once your foundation is strong, let your money grow through smart, sustainable investing. Friends, wealth isn't built overnight. It's built day by day, choice by choice. Financial management is simply the art of making those choices wisely. And if you commit to it, you'll not only build wealth, you'll also build freedom. The freedom to live life on your terms. Rule 4, multiple income streams and deals. Friends, let's talk about something that separates the wealthy from those who are always struggling with money. It's the simple idea that wealth rarely comes from just one source of income. Most people rely on a single paycheck, and that paycheck usually only covers their living expenses. But if you want to build real wealth, you need to create multiple streams of income. Think of income like rivers flowing into a lake. If your lake has only one river, and that river dries up, your lake will soon be empty. But if there are several rivers flowing in, even if one slows down, the others keep the lake full. That's exactly how income works. Having multiple sources gives you stability, security, and most importantly, growth. Now let's go deeper. The book makes a very interesting point. Real wealth comes from deals, not fees. What does that mean? It means the big opportunities often come not from your salary or the small incremental earnings, but from bold, focused deals, investments, partnerships, or ventures where you take calculated risks and reap greater rewards. Let's break it down with examples. One powerful way to create another income stream is through a side hustle. Maybe you have a skill, writing, teaching, designing, or even selling products online. That small side income, if nurtured, can grow into something much larger over time. Then there's investing. Putting your money into assets like stocks, bonds, or real estate isn't just about saving. It's about making your money work for you. Imagine earning while you sleep. That's what investments do when they're chosen wisely. Rental income is another strong stream. If you own property, even a small one, renting it out can create consistent monthly cash flow. And beyond rentals, there's passive income, royalties from a book, dividends from stocks, or even automated online businesses. These are sources that continue to pay you with little ongoing effort once they're established. Now, here's the important part. Having multiple streams doesn't mean chasing everything at once. It's not about scattering your energy. It's about focus. The wealthy don't just jump into random things. They evaluate deals carefully, choose wisely, and commit. That's why the book says real wealth comes from deals. It's the carefully chosen opportunities, the business venture, the property investment, the partnership, that can change your financial future in a big way. But let's be realistic. Creating multiple streams takes time. You don't need to start 10 things at once. Begin with one additional stream. It could be as simple as freelancing on weekends or setting up an automatic investment every month. Once that becomes steady, add another. Over the years, this layered approach creates a strong financial foundation. Think of people who rely only on their salary. The moment they lose their job, their entire life feels at risk. But those with multiple incomes have a cushion. They have freedom. They can take risks, walk away from jobs they don't enjoy, or reinvest in bigger opportunities without fear. That freedom is priceless. So, friends, here's the takeaway. Never rely on just one income stream. Build at least 2, then 3, and let them grow over time. Look for deals, not just small fees. Seek opportunities where your money, your skills, or your time can multiply in value. Remember, wealth isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter. Start small, stay consistent, and one day you'll look back and realize that your financial lake is overflowing. Not because of one river, but because you had the wisdom to open many. Risk and trust. Friends, whenever we talk about building wealth, one word always comes along with it: risk. There is no journey to success without risk. But here's the important part. Taking risks is not the same as being reckless. Real wealth flows to those who take calculated risks, the kind where every step is thought out with clarity. Risk doesn't mean fear. Risk means embracing uncertainty with preparation. When you start a new business, make an investment, or step into a deal, you can never be 100% sure of the outcome. But if you've done your research, if you've looked at every angle, if you've prepared for different scenarios, that same risk transforms into an opportunity. Now, along with risk, there's another word that decides whether your success will last: trust. If you don't trust someone, don't do business with them. This is not just advice, it's a golden rule. Because in business, you'll find money, contracts, and legal papers everywhere. But the true foundation of every deal is trust. Without trust, even the best-looking deal will eventually collapse. Think about it. When you enter into a partnership or an investment, you're not just putting your money on the line, you're putting your peace of mind on the line. If there's even the slightest discomfort about the person or the deal, step back. It's better to walk away from a deal today than regret it tomorrow. Trust is not built in a day. It's built through consistency, honesty, and transparency. When you trust someone, you don't just believe in their words, you believe in their integrity. And when people trust you, they see you as someone they can count on, no matter how uncertain the market or the world becomes. That reputation is worth more than any short-term profit. The truth is, every opportunity in life will demand some risk. You cannot grow, you cannot build wealth, and you cannot expand without stepping out of your comfort zone. But the smart move is to take risks only where your trust is strong and your calculations are clear. Blind risk-taking is gambling. Calculated risk-taking is strategy. And here's something many people overlook. Sometimes the biggest risk is not taking a risk at all. Playing it safe, staying in your comfort zone, refusing to explore new deals or new ventures, this slowly kills opportunities. The world rewards courage, but only when courage is balanced with wisdom. So what's the lesson here? It's simple. Face risk, but do it with preparation. Choose trust as your compass. Never partner with someone you don't believe in. Never invest in something that doesn't align with your values or your understanding. And most importantly, never let the fear of risk stop you from moving forward. Because at the end of the day, wealth isn't just about money, it's about peace of mind, about building something sustainable, and about surrounding yourself with people and opportunities you can trust. Remember this: success belongs to those who dare to take risks, but only those risks that are guided by trust. Compound interest and long term investing. Small invest, big growth. Hey, friends, let's talk about something truly magical in the world of money. It's often called the eighth wonder of the world: compound interest. And trust me, once you really understand its power, you'll look at your financial journey in a completely new way. The simple truth is this: money begets money. In other words, money has the ability to create more money if you give it time and the right conditions to grow. Think of it like planting a seed. At first, it's small, almost invisible in the soil. But with care, patience, and consistency, that seed grows into a tree. And one day, that tree starts producing fruits year after year. Compound interest works exactly like that tree. Now, what exactly is compound interest? Imagine you invest just a small amount today. Over time, not only does your initial investment grow, but the interest you earn also starts earning interest. It's growth upon growth, layer upon layer, and year after year, it builds into something much bigger than you could have imagined at the start. Let me give you a simple example. Suppose you invest $1,000 today at an annual return of 10%. After 1 year, it grows to $1,100. But here's where the magic happens. In the second year, you're not just earning interest on your original $1,000, you're earning it on the full $1,100. And in the third year, on $1,210. Over decades, this snowball effect becomes unstoppable. What started as something small now turns into a massive wealth-building machine. But here's the catch: it doesn't happen overnight. That's why patience is the most important ingredient. You have to give your money time to breathe, time to grow, and time to compound. The earlier you start, the bigger the results. That's why financial experts keep saying, start young, even if the amount is small. $1 invested at 20 can be worth 10 times more than the same dollar invested at 40, simply because of the extra years of compounding. And let me tell you, the world is full of distractions. Quick money schemes, get-rich-quick promises, and people showing overnight success stories. But the truth is, most of those shortcuts come with heavy risks and often lead to losses. Real wealth is almost always built slowly, steadily, and quietly, through long-term investing and the power of compounding. So, what does this mean for you? It means don't underestimate small beginnings. Even if you can save and invest just a small portion of your income every month, do it. Over the years, that habit will transform your finances. Focus on consistent contributions rather than chasing the perfect investment. Whether it's stocks, index funds, or retirement accounts, the goal is to stay invested and allow time to do its work. Remember, wealth is not created by timing the market, but by time in the market. The longer you stay invested, the more compounding works in your favor. Think of it like climbing a mountain. The journey feels slow in the beginning, but once you reach higher altitudes, the view becomes breathtaking. So, my message for you is simple. Don't wait for the right time or the perfect opportunity. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is today. Start small, stay consistent, and let compound interest become your silent partner in wealth creation. Because at the end of the day, financial freedom is not built in a rush. It's built step by step, brick by brick, with patience and trust in the process. Let your money grow quietly in the background while you focus on living your life fully in the present. One day, you'll look back and realize that the small sacrifices you made today have built the financial security and freedom you always dreamed of. Wealth isn't built just on luck or opportunity. It's built on continuous learning and discipline. And if you really understand this, it can transform not only your finances, but also the way you live your life. There's a powerful line I want you to remember. Cultivate a skill and it will repay you over and over again. This isn't just a nice quote, it's a guiding principle. Think about it. Skills are the real assets. Jobs may change, businesses may rise and fall, but the skills you carry, the knowledge you build, and the discipline you develop stay with you forever. They keep paying dividends, not just in money, but in confidence and opportunities. Now let's talk about learning. In the financial world, change is the only constant. Markets evolve, industries shift, new technologies emerge, and strategies that worked yesterday may not work tomorrow. If you stop learning, you start falling behind. But if you make continuous learning a way of life, you stay sharp, relevant, and prepared. This doesn't mean you need to drown yourself in complicated theories. It means staying curious, reading books on finance, following market trends, listening to experts, and reflecting on your own experiences. Every bit of knowledge compounds, just like money does with interest. Small lessons learned today can save you from massive losses tomorrow, or guide you to smarter investments that pay off years down the line. But knowledge alone isn't enough, and this is where discipline steps in. Because honestly, we all know what we should be doing. Saving consistently, investing early, cutting unnecessary expenses, sticking to a plan. But knowing is one thing, doing it every single day is another. Discipline is the bridge between knowledge and results. Think of discipline as your financial backbone. It's what keeps you from chasing every shiny get-rich-quick scheme. It's what stops you from panic selling when markets crash or overspending when money feels abundant. Discipline brings stability to your journey, no matter what storms you face. Now let's be real. Discipline isn't always easy. It means making choices that may not feel exciting in the short term, but bring freedom in the long term. It's saying no to impulse shopping so you can say yes to financial independence. It's choosing to invest your bonus instead of blowing it all on luxury. It's setting clear goals and then aligning your actions day by day with those goals. And here's something important. Discipline is not about being harsh on yourself. It's about being consistent. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Even small, steady steps add up over time. When you blend learning with discipline, you create a compounding effect not only on your money, but also on your mindset. Let me give you an example. Imagine someone who decides to read one book on investing every 2 months, and at the same time commits to saving 10% of their income every month. In the first year, the impact might feel small, but after 5 years, they've read 30 books and built a sizable savings cushion. Their knowledge has grown, their habits are stronger, and they're far ahead of someone who never started. That's the quiet power of continuous learning paired with discipline. So if you want to build lasting wealth, focus less on shortcuts and more on self-management. Keep learning, no matter how much you already know. Stay disciplined, even when it feels boring or slow. Remember, the greatest investment you can make is not in stocks or real estate. It's in yourself. Skills, knowledge, and discipline are assets no one can ever take away from you. Hey friends, let's talk about something that goes far beyond just making money, sharing wealth wisely. We often think wealth is only about what we earn, save, or invest. But true wealth also lies in how we choose to use it for others, for our community, and for the world around us. Now, I know what you might be thinking. If I've worked hard for my money, why should I give it away? That's a natural thought. But let's look at it differently. Sharing wealth isn't about losing something. It's about multiplying its value. Think of it like planting seeds. If you hold on to seeds tightly in your hand, they remain just that, seeds. But when you plant them in the right soil, they grow into trees, bearing fruit for years to come. That's what happens when wealth is shared with wisdom. It grows beyond you. Charity is one of the most powerful ways to do this. But here's the important part. It needs to be intentional. Don't give blindly. Ask yourself, where will this money go? Will it truly help? Is it creating value, or is it just a temporary fix? The goal of giving isn't just to feel good for a moment, but to create a ripple effect of change that lasts. And it's not only about large donations. Sometimes even small, consistent acts of generosity can have the greatest impact. For example, supporting education for a child, contributing to a health cause, or even helping someone learn a skill that makes them independent. These things go far beyond just handing out money. They create opportunities. And opportunities are priceless. But here's where wisdom comes in. Sharing wealth doesn't mean saying yes to every request or loan. We've all experienced times when someone close to us asks for money, maybe a friend or a relative, and it puts us in a tough spot. You want to help, but deep down you feel uncomfortable, unsure whether it's the right decision. That feeling is your inner compass. Listen to it. The truth is, giving without boundaries can do more harm than good. If you loan money to someone who isn't responsible, it can damage relationships and drain your peace of mind. That's why it's important to set clear boundaries. If you want to help, do it in a way that doesn't put your own financial stability at risk. Sometimes, instead of lending money, offering guidance or finding alternative ways to support them is a wiser choice. At the heart of this is one simple principle. Your wealth should be a tool for positive impact, not a source of guilt or stress. When you share it thoughtfully, you not only uplift others, but also build a sense of fulfillment that no luxury can match. Because, let's be honest, what's the point of financial success if it doesn't contribute to something bigger than yourself? Think of the greatest legacies left behind in history. They're not remembered for the size of their bank accounts, but for the lives they touched, the communities they built, and the opportunities they created for others. That's the kind of wealth worth striving for, the kind that outlives you. So, my friends, as you grow in your financial journey, remember this. Wealth isn't just about what you keep. It's also about what you give back. Share it with care, with thought, and with purpose. Because when you use your money responsibly to help others, you're not just creating wealth, you're creating meaning. And in the end, meaning is the richest form of wealth there is. A rich mindset starts with clarity, knowing your own definition of wealth. From there, build a strong financial plan, save with discipline, and invest wisely. Add streams of income, take calculated risks, and think long-term. Keep upgrading your skills because knowledge compounds just like money. And finally, share your wealth with responsibility because true success isn't just about what you keep, but also about what you give back. If you found value in today's video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And let's continue this journey to financial freedom together.